Hello and thanks for joining me again on another vlog. Today I've come to Lumsdale Falls. You can see the top falls just behind me there. And the original plan anyway was to meet Tim, he's over there, and go to Magpie Mine in the Peak District. But the conditions were just ridiculous. It was so windy and I couldn't be speaking to you like this. It was just, we couldn't speak to one another. You couldn't catch your breath, it was that windy. So we decided to make the half-an-hour drive from Magpie Mine to Lumsdale. And it's somewhere that's been shot to death. I've just overheard Tim say on his vlog that he shot it to death, and it is a little bit shot to death. So my plan today is to just take one shot. This is the kind of idea that I've conjured up on the half-an-hour drive here. I'm going to look at all the falls. We've walked up from the car park at the bottom to this top one, and I kind of know already which one I want to get one shot of. But I think going somewhere with only one shot in mind is definitely a good exercise to do, because it makes you look differently. I think sometimes we can be a bit snap happy at locations. I know I can. And there's like 5 or 6 falls here, and I could take a picture of all of them, but what is that really proving? They've all been shot to death, as I say. So if I can get my own take, or a shot, it probably won't be my own take because they're shot to death, but one shot that I'm particularly happy with of one of the falls from here, I think for a first visit, with a bit of time limitation as well, because I've only got about 90 minutes before we need to head off somewhere else, I think that's probably a good exercise to do. So I'm going to get my gear out. I'm probably going to be shooting wide, and hopefully I'll do justice to this place. But let's have a look. Well, I've come down to the second fall down now, and I don't really think there's going to be a lot of B-roll of me taking pictures today because I'm kind of perched on a lot of the ledges. That top fall was all right. I did get one shot that I was kind of happy with, but I'll probably only use it as like a snapshot on Instagram. Instead of taking the falls as the main part of the image, I leant against that wall, which is on the left-hand side of it, and there were loads of moss and leaves growing out the side, so I focused on one of those leaves, and then the waterfall was sort of behind it as sort of a secondary part of the image. I've come down to the second waterfall down, as I say, and this is a much more picturesque one. This is one that I've seen a lot more images taken of, which is a bit of a gift and a bit of a curse because it's beautiful, but I'm not really getting my own shot of it. I've gone down here onto this little platform down there, and I've shot with this mini falls in the foreground and then that second falls in the background, and you can just see the top falls right at the top of the image. I really like there's moss. I've focused on the moss, and those vibrant greens are really punching out of the image. And this cliff face, even though there's like a shed at the top of it up there and someone lives there, this cliff face looks fantastic. And it just kind of, it doesn't look like it should be here and it should be so accessible. It is really accessible. It's quite a climb, quite a lot of steps to get up to the top one, but accessible because it's near a parking space and it's roadside and stuff like that. But I'm hopeful that this image will look good. I might take another one because the conditions are changing ever so slightly. The sun's just starting to peek up from behind you over there through those trees, and it's just lighting up that middle falls of the 3, which might look slightly better than the ones that I've already got. But whichever one I choose, and I think this is going to be the keeper. So I've come 100 miles for one shot, and I've taken that shot within about 20 minutes of being here on the second foot waterfall I've been to, and there's probably 3 or 4 left down there to take images of. But I like this one. I like how it flows. I like that there's a break on one side which then splits into 2, and it just kind of works. And I also like the fact you can get down low here and get some foreground which will lead you up into that beautiful waterfall. So hopefully the shot is good, and if it is, I'll put it up now. Well, I hope that image was half decent. I think I would have had to boost the contrast slightly to bring up, just really bring out those greens, those mossy leafy greens everywhere. But I don't mean to do the place down. I probably feel a bit negative and a bit unbothered about the place. It's a lovely place. It just feels they're just not really my kind of waterfalls. I'm more of a, I don't know, off the beaten track type person. When I start seeing handrails and well put together pathways and stuff, it's great. It's great for coming and walking the dog and for meeting friends and family and stuff. It's just, I just feel like it's not, as I say, it's shot to death. So, and I don't really feel like I've got my own version of the falls. I might have done. It might look exceptional when I get home and get it on the big screen, but I'm not convinced in this moment. So I think we're going to head back downstream and take in these other waterfalls, but I'm not sure if I'll get the camera out again, really. I think today's one of those days where my mind was set on something completely different, and that didn't work, and plan B doesn't always have to work out if plan A doesn't. So I think plan C will probably come into effect, and I'll go and get some food from somewhere. But it's been nice to come and see Lumsdale for myself. I'm not saying it's not a nice place to visit. Please do come and visit. It's lovely, it's accessible, and it's just being here, being within the smells and the sights and the sounds of nature and the waterfalls and the running water and birds flying about and stuff like that, and meeting up with friends. It's lovely, but I just don't think it's for me and the photography that my head is geared towards today. It's not really working for it, but hopefully that shot will look all right. Hopefully the miles on the tyres won't be wasted, and I don't know, I'd come again. I've seen shots where it's iced up and there's water iced up, and maybe in the bleak midwinter it might look a little bit better to my eye, but I'm not trying to discourage you or do the place down or anything like that. It's a lovely part of the world, so how could it not be? It's in the Peak District, which is just exceptional. So yeah, hopefully I'm not leaving this vlog on a low, but we can leave it on a high. Right, so I've come back to the car now and I've said goodbye to Tim, and I'm going to be heading off home, but I didn't want to leave the vlog the way it was because it felt very negative. I felt like I was being a bit about the day, which perhaps I am. I think I've just had a chat with Tim and he's kind of feeling the same way about it. He's shot this place to death, and I kind of felt like I'd feel more about coming to somewhere that so many people come, and like quite an iconic place. I think I sort of had this thought that I'd be blown away by it, but I just kind of wasn't. Maybe it's the wrong time of year, maybe it's because I was planning on doing something else today, but I did get one shot I was happy with. I'm going to put that one up at the end if I haven't done already. I did get another few different shots of the falls on the way down, but there were people everywhere. They were taking their own shots, which is great. It's good to see people out, but I just wasn't feeling it today, and I think that's all right. I don't think you have to be Mr. Photography or Mrs. Photography all the time. You can have ups and downs with it, and maybe I am in a bit of a valley with stuff at the moment. I'm not really sure, but we'll see how it goes. I'm happy with the shot I've got. As I said, one of the other ones might look good as a square crop on Instagram, but yeah, I'm just going to take today as a walk out with a mate with a nice bit of scenery around me and maybe one shot in the bag. So as always, thanks for watching. I will hopefully see you on the next one.